Welcome to Columbia College. Well, yeah, that's a great start. There we go. Welcome to the Coaches Show, Columbia College Cougars Coaches Show here on Mediacom Channel 22. Alongside the athletic director and head coach, I am Cosmo Bob Burchard. Welcome in. Thank you.
Thanks, Cosmo. It's good to be here.
Welcome back again to the Coaches Show here on Mediacom and also on the Columbia Cougars website, columbiacougars.com. Number 25 in the polls, 4-1 in conference play after the win at Mobap on a rescheduled game thanks to Mother Nature. From last week, you guys go to 17-3 overall, and again in the AMC, the important number on the record-wise, at least at 4-1, and into that top 25 of the AMC or the NAIA poll at number 25. Congratulations!
Thank you. It's been an interesting couple weeks. Conference play got interrupted a bit because of weather, and I thought our team handled that pretty well last night, and in terms of going on the road in a different time frame than normal for our preparation. It's really interesting this time of year. You've got to be very flexible, I think, in that sometimes the weather gets in the way, and so you reschedule games, and you got to just plug them in where you can find holes. And we were fortunate to come out on top. You know, it's when you're in competition, you like to be in a competitive rhythm, and I think that's the real challenge for teams, and it helps if your team is really a mature and level team, so that they don't get out of rhythm easily, and I think that helps you in particular, Cosmo, when you play on the road, because things aren't the same, environment's not the same, atmosphere. Different rims, different conditions, heating, cooling, everything. Some places you just get treated nicer than other places, and like at William Woods, and so.
Well, there's also a difference too in the shorter trip. You know, it's a smaller bus ride as opposed to Mobap in St. Louis, and it's different. It's a completely different environment on the road, obviously.
So it is a different, and you have to have a mature team to be able to handle those types of things. And I think our team has shown some of that. We've got a lot more road contests to go, but right now we're happy with where we're standing.
72-66 was the final score at Mobap. Go back quickly, a game before that at home against Hannibal LaGrange, a team that's struggling a little bit this year, kind of at the bottom of the conference standings. Let's start with that ball game. Really one of the first games in the conference at home for you guys. You had the loss on the road at Park, but then that Hannibal LaGrange game on a Saturday at Southwell Complex. Saw a lot of good things out of the ball club. Several different players keeping up and bringing their game up a level or two, I think.
Well, I think so, and your team has to evolve, Cosmo. It is a very long season. College basketball season is, and so you change as other teams do throughout the course of the year. I think one of the things we've talked about here and coaches talk about all the time is you get into conference play, and it seems like the intensity just really starts to escalate, and you have to make adjustments for that. I think the interesting thing about the Hannibal game was they were extremely well prepared. There are multiple game films out there now, and so coaches are really focused in on your team and how to play against your team. Patterns have started to develop, patterns have started to develop, and I really thought Hannibal was very well prepared for us. It was a really tough first half, and second half we pulled away kind of slowly, and to be quite honest with you, that's kind of been the pattern for our team here in the last couple of games. We haven't been able to really come out of the gate real hard. We've just kind of plowed our way, so to speak, through some games and been able to get some separation at the end.
Now, how much of that is being able to make some changes in the locker room at halftime, and then also coaching on the fly a little bit in the second half, adjusting and knowing where that flow is going, and maybe making a sub a couple plays before you maybe normally would make a substitution or two?
Well, I think one of the luxuries we've had this year is that we've played a lot of people, and so we feel very comfortable rotating our team. And I think when you play over 30 games. You play all different styles of teams, and you need to have guys that can change the game for you. And okay, it's not going to work tonight like this, so we need to change the game. So you have to have guys that can do that for you, but then you also have to have a lot in your arsenal, so to speak, so you can throw different things at teams. We don't press a whole lot. Last night, press really was important at certain times of the game. We don't play a ton of zone, but sometimes zone's important in a game. And you know, you have to have a lot of different offensive looks as well, because as I said earlier, teams are really loading up on you and preparing for everything that you do. So you have to have some wrinkles that you can bring out for certain circumstances, maybe certain teams. And to do all of that, Cosmo, you really have to have a basketball savvy team. And I do think that's something that we have enjoyed with this group to this point, is they will respond to coaching. And so you can do prep work and you can make changes on the fly. And I like that. It's fun to be a part of a team where you can actually make some changes. And not all teams have that ability.
The guys can see the results, and we'll get into more, a little bit of the nuts and the bolts on the chemistry that is not on the court only, but on the sideline as well, with Sean Dooley, an assistant coach that we've had on this program, and then now another former player of yours, and assistant coach Drew Grisella, will be joining us a little bit later in the program. We'll talk about the upcoming games for the Columbia College Cougars in conference play. Again, 4-1 in the AMC Conference. We'll preview the next several games coming up next with head coach Bob Burchard after this on the Columbia Cougars Coaches Show on Mediacom Channel 22.